Hi, greetings and welcome fellow citizens. Today on Let's Talk Ship we are going to be looking at the passenger gameplay loop as well as some of the ships that it entails, such as like the 890 jump. So that's coming up on this week's Let's Talk Ship. Okay, I have in-game, and to all the people that know me and for some of the people that don't know me, I have often said that passenger gameplay mechanic is going to be one of the most lucrative endeavours to undergo once it gets implemented. Now, I've been like saying this all the way back since 3.9 when I first thought about it. And one of the reasons why I think that's going to be a case is because of how I saw the passenger mechanic play out in Elite Dangerous when I used to play that. And basically in Elite Dangerous it was probably the best way to earn currency in game. I mean, I could earn tons, I could earn millions or whatever highest nomination of currency it was. It's so long ago since I played Eve, I've forgotten. But I do remember that in Sorry, getting all my games mixed up here. But I do remember in Elite Dangerous when I used to do the play passenger mechanics, like build up the ships with seats and passenger cabins. That paid out a lot, big time. Now, when I looked at Star Citizen and some of the things that it seems to have in place ready for when that's going to happen, I'm thinking that this really has to make a big turnaround to make any sort of profit. For example, take like the 890 jump for instance. Well, if you take the if you fly the 890 jump around and empty out empty out its fuel tanks full of hydrogen and quantum fuel, it costs 200,000 credits just to refuel those, and so that's a total of like 400,000 credits, not to mention like cost of repair or rearming and refueling. Sorry, not rearming and refuel, but rearming. But yeah, you're looking at an absolute shit ton of cash that you need to be forking out just to keep this thing viable. Now, the only way that the 890 jump is going to be able to turn around a decent profit or even be useful in the universe going forward is to make passenger or let me rephrase that, VIP passenger mechanics extremely lucrative, because as I said, just maintenance of the ship is just the base. You've also got to look out for the staff and also the all the food and stuff, because you're going to have to feed your clients, you're going to have to feed your guests, you're going to have to feed your patients, stock up the drinks cabinets and lots of other amenities that you're going to have to keep stock of just to make sure that you keep a level ground and keep your reputation up. And like I said, to be able to keep that sort of level, the payout has to be quite big. So what exactly is the passenger mechanic? A lot of people have asked me, well, isn't passenger mechanic just going to be like cargo, except for instead of shipping boxes, you're shipping people that's just going to be wandering around your ship? And I said, yeah, no, it's not going to be just cargo. Yes, you are just shipping people from A to point B to start with. They've already announced that there's going to be taxi missions, which is basically you're just going to have to ship people from point A to point B. And they will give a review of the service. And if they give a positive review, your reputation will go up. If they give a negative review, your reputation will go down. So it's in your ideal position to to make sure they have a good reliable service. Now I think for the tier 0 or the first tier, you're just going to have at least a passenger seat. So right, let's take the X85 or the 85X Origin ship. I'm using Origin because I do like their designs. I am a big Origin fan after all. So the X85 ship, it is basically a 2-seater, and it kind of luxury, but the idea is you got to give your passenger a good, safe, comfortable journey from point A to point B. So if you get caught up in like firefights and the hull gets damaged, so this is kind of how they did passenger gameplay in Elite Dangerous. If your hull takes any sort of damage, then the passengers that you have on board will write a negative review, and you won't get bonuses and you will get less money, etc. I think that's going to come over to here on Star Citizen. So if the person that's sitting in the next seat next to you is not comfortable and you start rocking around because you're being hit by laser fire, then he's going to complain and your reputation might drop, or you might not get as good as review. But later on, when passenger gameplay mechanics comes into its full swing, it is going to be a massive game changer. It is going to be a real big game changer, and that's where you're going to get the Genesis Starline that will come into its full effect. The Phoenix, the Constellation Phoenix, you would actually start using things like that spar that I took out of. I think they made a mistake taking out that spar, and also the pubs and dining hall that's inside the 890 Jump, as well as a spa and swimming pool. They are going to be fully used, and you're going to have to be able to escort the passengers to make sure that they are comfortable in their job. So you're going to need to hire staff for the passengers in the future. So as I said, right now you've got like the taxi mission service, but like next level up is you're going to have to provide them alcohol, drinks and food. So like in the Phoenix, you've got like that little bar, full liquor bar, I'd say. I always say that a spaceship is not complete unless it's got a full liquor bar and maybe a spa inside it. So that's why the Phoenix is one of my favourite ships of all times. And like I said, that bar, they've actually started working on the drinks mechanic. I'll see if I can get the video and show it in the background here. So that's a little hint out for me when I'm editing this video. Put that video up. The full liquor bar is basically a drinks sort of mix mini game. So the staff will request certain type of drinks, and they say yeah, and if you give them what they need, then they'll write a positive review. If you mess up, then negative review. So on and so forth, as the money that you get will be determined on how satisfied you keep your customers. So that will be someone, whilst you're flying the plane or flying the spaceship, another person. So you will need more than one crew member to actually look after your guests. You can't do passenger mechanics all on your own when it gets up to this, because you're going to need someone at that bar, maintaining the bar and looking after the guests, keeping them satisfied, keeping them happy whilst you're landing at the next spaceport. But also, as it goes on a little bit more, it's going to be more than just if they're nicely all boozed up, and they will give you a good review. You're going to put on some sort of entertainment for them. You need to keep them happy. You need to keep them comfortable. You need cabins for them, qualified, proper cabins. So you can't just hire out, let's say a hammerhead, a military-style vessel that's got bunk up mates, because it's your passengers will not like bunking up with all the other passengers. You will need separate luxury-style cabins for these people to go in. So again, Phoenix, 890 Jump, that's what they do. They have these cabins set aside specifically for the guests for when they come in. However, as I said, there is even more than just that you're going to need to do. you're going to need to keep them entertained in more ways than one. So the more options you have for them, such as like you've got a spa, you've got a swimming pool, you've got a sauna. If you make sure that if these are available on hand, their satisfaction is going to go through the roof. And I also believe, this is only just a guess, but they're going to be like in-flight entertainment showing on TVs. Now I have noticed like the odd TV around on like the Phoenix and on, well, not quite TVs, but things that I think could be TVs that people could watch for like the in-flight entertainment. And as I said, like these around on like the Phoenix and also the 890 Jump. We have no idea what the Genesis Starliner is going to be, but I think that in the future there's going to be more than just there's going to be several types of passenger gameplays that you need to do. First one, as I said, tier 1 that we're getting so far is transport one person from point A to point B. But then when you get like the Genesis Starliner, which is going to be like 100 or so seats, that's going to be, I think the Genesis Starliner is just going to be like 100 or so seats, just merely for the transportation, and it's not going to have like crew cabin. So think like your Boeing 747 if you want to get from England to America or America to anywhere else. You just got passenger lines that you don't have crew cabins, or you don't have not crew cabins, you don't have passenger cabins or beds that sleep on. No, because it's just simply transportation of A to B. And as you increase in certain ranks, you will start saying, oh, okay, we need about 60 people traveling from Proxima Centauri or from Hertzen all the way over to Pyro, because yeah, we wanted to get rid of them. So yeah, that's where the Genesis Starliner is. It's going to cruise them all through. Whereas say the 890 Jump is more or less your cruise ship, one that takes ages to get from point A to point B, and that is where people actually buy out, because then they have the luxurious journey, because they are on a tour. They want to see the universe. So that's the other style of mechanic, where you have to go to point A. You'll have to go from point A to point B to point C to point D to point E. You just fill off these like checkpoint markers, and once you've gone to point A, and people have looked out and wowed at the system and wowed at the local countryside, because you've landed on the moon whilst the sun is rising up in its zenith, and people have just had fun looking out of the window. Then you go on to point B, and then point C and point D. And these cruises could take hours. It's not something that you're going to be able to do in just say like 5 or 10 minutes, but they could take hours, and you could probably earn like 100,000 credits per customer that you bring in. So let's just say you brought in like 4 families. Each family is like paying like 1,000 per person. And therefore, so you could earn up to like maybe 1 million credits just touring from from all the major stops inside Stanton Solar System, and then you go through the jump point, end up at Pyro, and then finish up on one of the derelict asteroids before you had to go back through the wormhole back, or jump point, and then land back at Crusader at Port Olisar, or whatever the station's is, because we all know Port Olisar's going. And like I said, that will net you probably a nice nifty million credits, but you've also got to share that out between your staff, because you're going to need caterers. I have said this a few times, and I believe this passenger mechanic is also going to need caterers. People to look after the guests, because they're going to need feeding as well. So you're going to need chefs to look to prepare the food for them. You're going to need waiters to bring the food out from the kitchen up to the dining hall to look after the guests. You're going to need bartenders to look after the bar, and also you're might need a little bit of on-site security to look after any rowdy guests that might board, i.e. pirates that want to attack you. So therefore maintaining the guns and the cannons and such. Because that's why, as I said, the guns on like the 890 jump, I don't know what size they are, so I'll use the definitive max variational sizes, and the max size of these guns are F-off, they're huge, and will blast most of the stuff that comes in front of them. I know that from experience on both sides. Yeah, I don't really know what size that they are. I'll probably put some statistics for the 890 jump up here, but yeah, I have known that those guns are really quite effective at taking down enemy spaceships or pirates or NPCs, and they're probably good as well at taking down other players. Yeah, the other day in my corp, we was just before the wipe came. Me and a couple of guys just took out the 890 jump for one last time, and we was flying around just having a little bit of fun, and then someone decided to come and shoot us up. That was a mistake, as he soon found out when a nice volley of flying. I looked at him and said, "Is he firing us?" "Yeah, he's firing us." I said, "Light him up. I don't care if he's trying to kill us. Then he's going down." "Oh, but it's another player." "Yeah, don't care. Light him up. Get rid of him because he's trying to kill us. So shoot back before he does anything." But yeah, so it has some decent shields. It's got some decent firepower behind the turrets. It's also got a missile commander seat as well, so the missile commander can do his own thing. And also a battle bridge. What the heck? Why has a passenger ship got a battle bridge? And I find that is just bloody cool. I think that's a good thing. I like the fact that the 890 jump has a battle bridge there where you can like sit down and just... although I haven't really been able to use it properly because you can't see anything unless you go to like third person camera and see from outside. Or if you're inside, you're working entirely by instruments. And the thing is, asteroids don't show up on instruments, so that's a problem. Yeah, that's the only thing that I didn't like about the battle bridge, is that you can't see asteroids. And that's a big thing not to see. Unfortunately, to inconvenience. But yeah. So... this is pretty much, as I said, the passenger mechanic in full. And I believe, like I said, I think it is going to be an incredibly lucrative experience to go through. From start to finish. From the simple taxi service that you could possibly do in a 300i or an 890... well, I'm not sure if you could do it in a 300i. I mean, they could lay in the bed whilst you go from point A to point B. Or... if you had, say, like an 85X, which is just like a two-seater Porsche, the space Porsche or the space Lamborghini or whatever you call it, and yeah, just like fly from point A to point B just to earn a couple of thousand creds. Yeah, but as I said, as you go on and the level goes up, you are going to need to provide for your crew, and I do believe it is going to be a big game changer when passenger gameplay fully comes in. Although it's going to be just small changes at first, I very much look forward to what it's going to come through in the long run. So I think that's all that we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've done in creating this. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are trying to get this channel up to 1,000 subscribers. So as soon as we get to 1,000 subscribers, as soon as I can actually start making money on this and doing more proper videos out on here. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys out there. I really need to shave my beard a bit.